that they're further apart than that both sides are feeling a little sensitive now, or that neither side's ultimately very happy. I'm kind of paraphrasing him, which is the thing insiders hate the most. Sammy.
I'll pull it up.
Well, you have it in here too. So if you want to,
No, here it's. This is from JD Bunkett's podcast. We have the host in the studio right now.
Lovely.
It's been harder than the Leafs were expecting. There's a little bit of frustration on both sides. James Myrtle today on his podcast.
Okay.
So,
my thought on this in LeBrun's piece, he said something to the effect of, Tavares knows that, the Leafs know that Tavares wants to stay here, and that's their leverage. And Tavares knows that the Leafs can't exactly afford to lose him. And that last part is what catches me. They can't afford to lose him. Are we sure? Because there's nothing else in the UFA market. I get that. But, I just can't imagine a world where you go another 3 or 4 years with Tavares when it has not worked. And it's not going to get better. You already can't play him in the, against top lines in the playoffs. You're suddenly it's like, okay, he doesn't PK. We need to start him in the ozone. He needs to play with good players. He needs to be, you're trying to position it so it works for him. If he goes somewhere else, do you think he's going to drive a line for $7 million? I'm not so sure that Tavares has left.
this is what sucks about it for me is this negotiation thing. I didn't think we were, and you two both, I didn't think we were going to have these conversations.
I thought JT was like, I want to be here. Let's do it for 4.
Well, they
Let's play.
said right after, during the media.
Yeah, he was like,
We've already had a good conversation with Tavares.
And it's just, he's already spent 7 years here working against a contract where it's like he's working backwards from it, where everyone is crapping all over
How
him.
do these guys not see that?
And
It's
just
killing
like,
them.
I understand you're wanting to get what you're worth and you're seeing other guys sign out there. I totally get it. But I'm so surprised that we're in this scenario with this. I just thought he was going to be like a Duchesne thing, 4.5 times 4. Like it's going to be done the first time it's able to be done. And it's like now this one is going out through the media, like this one that seemed like a
it's
layup.
like you can get your money. No one's saying don't get your money. Just go get it.
I'm really frustrated and surprised by this. I truly am. Like it's just like I did not expect this.
So
Agreed.
This is agree talk because I think whatever deal Tavares is willing to sign today in Toronto works for every other team in hockey, especially given the free agent market right now, right? Like if you told another team, hey, John Tavares is going to sign with you for 3 years at $6 million per, in a world where Brock Nelson got 7.
Yeah.
I think you go, yes. So
Every team would take it.
right. So whatever it is that he's offering, every team could take it. But just like the Marchand thing, the context here matters. You've already paid John Tavares $77 million.
Yeah.
Did he earn it as he entered free agency? Yes. Was there some discussion of he could have even gotten more at the time and took less? I don't know. I feel like that's kind of a bit of an urban legend.
The San Jose
Sharks
thing?
Yeah.
I feel like that was some maybe manufactured leverage.
Yeah, I think it's a little. I've never heard anybody tell me point blank that that's 100%.
He was gonna go.
Yeah, he was going to go, and it was $13 million for San Jose. I'm like, either way, he clearly had options. He could have signed this deal in other places, and he came to Toronto. So it's not like Toronto just did him a huge favor, bailed him out for an $11 million deal. It was like fair market value. But still, you've made $77 million with the Leafs, plus what you've made with the Islanders. Everybody wants to feel paid and appreciated for their work. But for John Tavares, no one's appreciating you for anything more than what you don't take. That the last play for you is winning a Stanley Cup. You want to make your market value? Go to Utah then.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Go-
can. That's what I'm saying. Go get
no
it.
one's going to cry, and everyone's going to say,
We're going to judge you.
for sure. And I think that's I think
what we
that
do
that's
for a
fair.
living.
But for a guy that has positioned himself throughout his entire career as like a Sidney Crosby light, right? The guy who's always on the ice, the guy who's always working hard,
Yeah.
a guy who always
Mr.
has
Hockey.
Consummate
Exactly.
professional.
Yeah.
a
Yes,
guy
he
who's
is
got
that.
his eyes on the main prize, and that is to win a Stanley Cup in Toronto. A guy who sacrificed the captaincy because he thought it was what was best for the team and didn't make waves about it. For him to now be fighting with the organization over an extra couple $1 million, and I know that sounds stupid to some
No, it
people because
does
you
not.
go, yeah, millions
He's
are still
made 100.
millions. He's got $100 million. He's set up in Etobicoke. He's got his whole family here. You have the opportunity to retire as a Toronto Maple Leaf. The last thing that you should be caring about is trying to win a contract negotiation for a few $1 million. And frankly, I think that Toronto's price has to not just be lower than the rest of the league. Like it has to be significantly lower than the rest of the league. If you're not going to squeeze him, who are you ever going to squeeze?
Totally.
Like how are you
Is
ever
it a
gonna-
business or is it not a business?
Where is the precedent going to be that you're going to be able to get another aging free agent player that wants to play in Toronto, who's like more set up here that
The
you're going to
roots
play.
are deep.
Yeah, who are you going to play hardball with?
Yeah.
You don't get to do that with Brad Marchand. You didn't do that with your RFAs. It doesn't look like you're going to be able to do that with Matthew Nyes, by the way. Like, that might be a bit more of a difficult negotiation. You have to flex your muscle if you're Brad Treliving. And as painful as it may be to replace John Tavares with Mikael Granlund, right? No one thinks that that's a good swap amongst the players. But at some point, you got to have some organizational pride and go, what are we even losing here if we lose John Tavares? Okay, we're paying him $6 million, let's say. Like, well, that's the haircut of a deal. $6 million. You've won nothing. You already outlined what he is as a player today.
He's going to score 28 goals next
What
year.
is
And get caved in by the Florida Panthers.
What's he
in this
2 years
spread.
from now? Is he on the wing on the third line?
Oh, yeah. Now you're moving him to wing.
Right.
Now it's...
So I just don't view it as some big risk that you lose him. I think it's you take that hard line position. To me, the number has to start with a 4, flat out.
Yeah.
You're not giving him more than 4.5, 4.8, somewhere in that range.
$4.9, no.
Yeah, stretch it out, but it's got to start with a 4. You have to have the optics of we got him on a similar deal to Matt Duchene. I don't care about the state tax. I don't care about Matt Duchene getting bought out of his other deal. That guy looked at the Dallas Stars and said, I'm old. I still want to win. I'm happy with my situation. I'm set up here. I want to be here. You got to do the same with Tavares.
Tavares also won his tax thing with the
Yeah, he did.
CRA
That
or whatever.
Which
so
is a win for all of us, I see it.
It's a massive win for all of us to let athletes know they can come here and keep more of their money. I'm not even.
I meant it more
sarcastic
just
about
like,
that.
I hate the tax man, like
Right.
the rest of you.
But
Like,
I
anybody
do
who
I
wins
do think
against
it's great
the
for
tax man.
Toronto, for Canadian sports fans who want there to be ways for these guys to keep their money,
Yeah.
so it's more appealing to come here. But yeah, it is going to be fascinating because I also think if this is home and where you want to be, where you're going to retire, you don't want people always viewing you through the lens of what you earn.
A
Which they
contract.
will if you make $6 million.
Yes.
Yeah, just be the guy who's from here.
Yeah.
100 schmil, actually 111 so far.
Yeah.
You know, what's
But like, is he really grinding like his agent told him?
and maybe not. Maybe
get
this
into
is like, all right,
Well,
I'm trying to get to.
we've got multiple reports, and in a climate where
I just
Sam Bennett's standing up at a podium going, I'm not leaving.
Yeah.
Where Matt Duchene's going, hey, it's done, it's over, it's
Immediate.
easy. Where,
No
like,
conversation.
yeah, and not to make this about the state tax stuff again, because I do think it's a part of it, but even an RFA like Maverick Bourque signs the 1-year deal immediately for literally like $900K,
Yeah.
basically free. And there's just deals being done all around the hockey world.
Tons of contracts are getting signed.
If there was one place in the hockey universe that was dying for one off season where we weren't doing this stuff, it's here. And so for Tavares to even not be able to understand that of what a lengthy negotiation starts to look like for him, even if he does end up going to the number, it's burning people out. We're sick of it.
That's exactly what I was going to say. It's like there's too much contract negotiation,
Yeah.
PTSD to have
and
it
it's
be
showing
like,
you that they can't learn anything.
yes,
Yeah.
it's like the same. It's like Tavares is doing this now. Like
Yeah.
when everybody thought it was just a slam dunk, and there's just people are going to resent them if it's anything above 5.
It's like every year we go into the playoffs, we're like, maybe they've learned. Maybe they've
Yes.
learned. And it's all about we get back to the contract talks. Like it's happening again, but they
then
haven't learned.
How much of this is it being just Toronto and the agents using whatever? Like how much of that is in this?
But that's crummy enough to me if you're trying to do that at this point.
Yeah, that's it. But so to me, the bigger question, more conspiratorial,
Yeah.
but like fully tinfoil
Yeah,
hat
let's
it,
go.
Yeah, let's go.
is that the whole league, you know how when the best players take less money, all the rest of the league gets pissed because they go, hey, you're the ones that are supposed to be
But
pushing
no.
People
Okay,
were
go
pissed
ahead.
at Connor
Yeah,
when he took
that's-
13.25 or whatever he took.
That's my point,
Yeah.
is that there's always this undercurrent of when the best players don't maximize their value, that they've not done well by the rest of the league. And I do wonder sometimes, not to over Toronto it, but if there's added pressure in Toronto because it is the most visible.
But see, no. See, because to me, you're easily able as another agent or a team to say, Crosby took 8.7 times 2.
Yeah.
That's an outlier. He's Sid. He's doing that because blank, blank, blank. And you could do that with Tavares, right?
Just
It's
loves
like,
his number. Has Tavares made more money than Sid in his career now?
God, that's a great question.
Yeah.
But like the
He
Sid
has.
thing is a great example where he's like, we're not doing a big negotiation. It's not about
Yeah.
money. I'm going to give these guys 2 more years. I'm trying to win another cup, 8-7. Okay, what do you have, 90 points this year, Team Canada? Like, I just don't see how you can be like, I want $1 million less than Sid.
Yeah, but has he made more?
I
thought you Googled
No, I thought
it.
you were.
Yeah, I thought you were Googling it. I was like, anyway, I'm with you.
can
I
have this
agree.
for you
I
in
I
2
think that they got to
seconds.
squeeze Tavares.
Not even close. Sid's made $35 million.
Oh, okay. Wait. I just thought because Sid,
111 for JT, 147 for Sid.
Sid signed one of those long 13 ones for 8-7, didn't he?
yeah, that's right.
Like
I-
when they did like the
Yeah.
greasy Ilya Kovalchuk one era, like
Yeah.
12 year.
They started around the same time.
yeah, they did. That's
Sid,
why.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So, but I'm with you guys. I'm at the point where I know that you're not supposed to be quote unquote punting. I'm not advocating that's what they do. I'm not saying let Tavares walk and then don't try to be creative. You're going to have to do other things. You're going to potentially have to entertain deals involving some of your younger players. You might have to be creative with your blue line. Like I was talking today that maybe you're talking about flipping Brandon Carlo somewhere else for some center depth. Yeah, it's not a pretty thing, but I would much rather the Leafs finally take the position and say, no, this is not the same management group. We're not just capitulating to your wants. If you don't want to be here for the number that we have, then we're going to find a different way to win. And last year, everybody took to the pulpit and hammered the Tampa Bay Lightning for the way that they treated their captain, the face of their franchise, Steven Stamkos.
Myself included.
And could you imagine had they actually gone up and paid him that deal? Like the odds Tavares could end up in the exact same situation where he walks from Toronto, goes and signs $7 million in Utah, and we're looking at his number